listeners. All right, freaks of the weeks. Welcome back to the number one LSU sports radio podcast. Now that T-Bob has moved on to bigger and better things, we are the number one most downloaded, most Tiger droppings about podcast in the world. I'm Brett. I'm here with Mike. I'm here with Grant. We have a little whiskey in the cups to toast Tyrann Mathieu.
We are toasting the retirement of Tyrann Mathieu. Little backstory on that. We will get into. I'm
doing
sure.
A little bit of green in his honor.
No, sir. No, sir. But yeah, here's to Tyrann Mathieu and Ozzy Osbourne.
The GOAT.
Okay.
Everybody raise your glass, take a picture, send it to us in the comments.
Hashtag.
We do have a big announcement.
What is it?
You didn't say a word the last podcast, and you've taken up all the airtime so far.
I'm just kidding.
What's the announcement?
Grant messed with the audio again. What's wrong with the audio?
Uh-oh. I think it might have been the music might have screwed some people up. So help Grant out in the comments. Do we sound good? Is everything okay now?
Corey, tell us if you can hear us.
Corey's in. He knows what's up.
He has to know what's up. Hell yeah, boss. Hugh G can hear us.
Yeah, the Tyrann Mathieu, like we kind of knew it was coming, but I don't know. That's one of those that kind of hits close to home. That was our guy.
Yeah, he was everybody's legend during that time period. Certainly a number 7 that should be in the Hall of Fame. Only got 2 years of him.
And like more big plays, more highlights, more turnovers. Like, I mean, think about how shitty LesMiles.net would have been without Tyrann Mathieu. Think about that.
I got to think about this intro music. How did you screw it up? What happened?
I think it was just super loud.
I don't know. It might have just been loud.
I can't see the comments. I might have to open my
He said
phone.
the intro was goofy. Everything sounds good now.
Yeah, there we go. So we're fine. We're back.
Okay.
Freaks of the week offs.
We're okay.
Yeah, we're good.
Only our dedicated listeners on YouTube had to deal with that disruption. We'll fix it for the
notification
for
crew.
the podcasters. Yeah, so honestly, with a week or a couple weeks of not much to talk about, the Weeks brothers certainly hit the headlines. We had a freak of the week with West Weeks, not to be confused with Wit. Grant did confuse him with Wit.
Grant thought we went back-to-back weeks freaks of the week.
Yeah, and that was troubling.
You call that consecutive weeks.
Yes. So for 2 consecutive weeks, Grant thought that the Weeks brothers were freak of the weeks, and they were not.
No,
it was just West. It was just West. But we know Wit can't really do a lot in the gym right now.
You also don't give freak of the weeks to like the star linebacker. You give it to somebody who's on the tweener, maybe
needs
fighting
a
for a starting
lunch
spot.
pail guy.
Yes, exactly. You don't just say, "Oh, Harold Perkins, most athletic guy this week." It's like, yeah, no shit. That's probably most weeks.
Yeah. What does that say about Relaford, though? I thought he was.
I hope so. Look, but when you get the first freak of the week, that's totally different. That is totally
Speaking
different.
of Relaford,
how about the anatomical position, the pose?
yeah,
took it seriously.
He did.
So do you think they're just given like their free reign? I'm just like, hey, we're going to take a picture.
Swing your dick as hard as you want.
Do whatever you want. Because like Dominic McKinley's was very different. He was like walking towards the camera, where Gabriel Relaford looked like he was posing for, I don't know.
This was too long ago. I'm going to have to get eyes on
like
this.
A 1980s World's Gym banner in California or something.
It's been too.
Looks good. He looks good. He's sharpened that jaw. His neck looks great. Good build.
Looks like he's been in the sun a little bit this year.
Yeah, I think so. He certainly has. They're shaded.
I just love that Grant just reads Tiger droppings and he makes little notes of the good jokes that he wants to bring to the pod. That's what I enjoy most about this.
Look at this.
That's freak of the week right there.
I mean, that impressive.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just the stance. It's like he has to be planning on that being like a sticker, or someone's going to take that and make it into like some type of meme. Like he's preparing, but he also looks like he's pretending to be like a messiah. It's weird.
I thought you were going to say massage therapist.
I mean, look at the neck.
Yeah, he looks good. Relaford's going to be solid.
Wait till Moffitt gets his hands on him.
Speaking of Tiger droppings, though, we have to address something here. I don't know if you've seen it, because I've stopped like sharing it. I've noticed that we all don't really talk about it anymore, but people are starting threads about, oh, the guys are back, or this episode happened, whatever, and people are like, dude, like, which one are you? Take this shit down. Like, stop.
Is it still happening?
Yeah,
like
it's
6 years later.
So
my in-laws sent me a thread. They're like, "Did you know they're like y'all blah blah blah?" And I'm like,
for
"It's
those,
not us."
we appreciate the support, but everyone thinks that's us doing it,
Yeah.
and it looks stupid.
I promise it's not me. I need to get back into it. Honestly, I don't look at Tiger droppings that much.
We only
all.
started threads like 5 years, like
Early on.
pre-COVID. We started some threads.
There's no
Episode
doubt.
1.
There's no
was a
doubt.
solid.
No, I'm like 2019. Like we were trying to get some big numbers in there.
I got a private message that was like, "Hey, stop," and I was like, "Fair," because that is me. Like you did, gotcha. Like
Right.
Breaking Bad.
8 years
you got
later,
me.
though, people are posing, and that's all. I just want to make it clear that's not us.
But when you
We're not.
post Ruffino, everyone no one bats an eyeball.
Anywho,
We do appreciate it though.
Yeah, no, shout out. I'll go do some digging. I swear, I have not looked. I have not seen it. So it's good to look. We don't have the huge, massive fan base. We got a bunch of loyal people who love the pod and message and DM. And
speaking of,
they love
shout
what
out
we're
to
doing.
Spencer from the Duck Camp.
Shout out to
That
Spencer.
was cool.
Came down to Mandeville for
Just to meet us for the autograph signing that we
autograph
had.
signing celebration of Big Mike's 70th.
Great time.
Great party. Spencer came down. My father was obviously very appreciative, but big fan of the pod. Really cool to meet the boys. But yeah,
Since you brought up that topic, I was having a great just football guy conversation with Grant's brother. And your dad comes up and just starts manhandling me. And it was like the happiest I've been. Bo was like shaking my hand, getting my shoulder. And I was like, this is a man holding me. And it was great. I loved every second of it. But he was ragdolling me around a little bit. I was like, man, I'm like, I'm 6'2", we'll call it 180. Maybe,
he could push you around.
And I was like, this dude played O-line or D-line back.
Oh, yeah. Walked on.
It was
Grant, give him a
he
shout
did.
out.
He walked on at LSU back in the
Chinese Bandit.
Big mitts. Big mitts on that guy.
Late 70s.
But no, I couldn't have been happier. I had a huge grin on my face. We were talking Tampicos, just enjoying life. But no, I had a good time.
It was a great time.
It's a good party. We're in those weeks right now
Kalen DeBoer,
where we're just really spitballing.
No, we do have breaking news though.
What's the breaking news?
Ozzy Osbourne.
Trey Holly to Southern.
Is that real?
He said
that's going to help him.
Yeah. It's like
this guy HC2. And then he said, just look it up, brother. So
breaking news.
we looked it up.
We appreciate it.
Look, good luck to Trey Holly. I don't really know much about the situation. I mean, if he's getting railroaded, that sucks. If he did it, I don't know. It's just like it probably wasn't going to happen at LSU at this point.
Well, what the last I'd heard was like things were still progressing. And then he had a court date set for last week or whatever in the courthouse that he was supposed to have this hearing at. The air conditioner was broken.
Yeah.
So then they
can't be doing it.
So they had to delay it another month before he knew when the new court date was going to be, which is just I don't know what that has to do with him transferring, but I guess he just said, screw it. I don't know.
He was in the last crew of kids that I followed recruiting before they signed, and watching his highlights as a youngster in the Dome, it was we have to have this kid. He reminds me of Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but with a way faster burst. The fact that we backfilled him as a fan, the fact that we backfilled him with Harlan Berry, we're going to be fine.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's the thing. It's like being away from the program for that long, coming in where you're going into a room where Caleb Jackson's struggling to get touches and carries. It's it's probably not going to, it may not even be your fault, but it's going to be hard to get reps.
For instance, when Caden Durham hurt his foot last year, we had no home run threat.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, Josh Williams, but besides Josh,
Holly would have been kind of your home run threat, there.
Yeah,
right?
I agree.
He can scoot. So
I agree.
It was a little bit of a missing piece last year. Harlan Berry is going to fill that role this year. He is a speedster. Caden Durham, obviously, is fast as all hell.
I'm interested. I'm really interested to see the running back rotation. Like, it's just they love Josh too much. I think we can all agree. I know you're probably the leader of that pack, but it's like your security blanket's gone.
Yeah.
And it's like, sure, Durham is quote unquote experienced, but he didn't have a bazillion touches last year. He's a sophomore. Yeah. Caleb Jackson barely sniffed the ball last year. And then you have a freshman coming in. Well, so I am interested because they're, quote unquote, super committed to the run game this year. It's like, I don't know why we weren't last year, but that's an emphasis. And everyone's saying we got a run game coordinator. So I am interested to kind of see how that plays out.
You know where I think the running game is also going to expand, and we saw a little teaser of it in the spring, is Juwan Johnson at quarterback. I think we're going to have some running quarterback packages where that's going to be a strong part of our running game. But I think Caleb Jackson is going to have to step up, and be a 1-2 with Caden Durham because
Barry be your 3, 4, 5 plays a game.
We also have another kid.
And maybe 1 week just kind of breaks out.
We signed another one though. I forget his name. Grant, if you can take a peek at that, we signed 2 running backs. Both of them were elite backs. But we always talk about Harlan
Lindsey.
Yes.
JT Lindsey.
JT Lindsey.
TJ Finley.
They're all going to have touches. Durham's going to be your bell cow. Jackson's going to have to come in and truly make a difference with that size. I think Harlan Berry is going to have a lot of packages. He's going to have to be part of.
He's got a big package. He'll be in big package.
Yeah, I need you to contribute. I need you. if you're going to jump in and interject, it can't be like a close-ended joke. Like, it needs to go somewhere. We have to open a door and pivot the conversation into something fun.
Okay.
Damn it.
Grant.
I was going to say this. I was going to say that, like, this will be the first year in a little while that every running back that is like potentially going to get carries was like a highly recruited running back that's not a transfer running back. Yeah. Like, they're all in state, right? Or am I making that up?
Durham's from Texas.
Durham's Texas. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that shoots that down. But what I'm saying is they're all high 4-stars and 5-star running backs again. It's not a walk-on. It's not some 3-star, Alfred Blue. I loved Alfred Blue.
Was great, man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for our entire lives, we've never had an issue with running backs
until the last few years.
Until the last few years where we actually kind of figured out an offense.
Yes.
And it's just one of those, like, you can't have it both ways. We can't have the best defense in the world and the best offense.
We have been missing the elite back.
Yeah.
It is what it is.
And it was the only thing, maybe not only thing, but it was like the one thing you could count on for the last 20 years of LSU football, whether it be Charles Scott, Jeremy Hill, like, pick any of them.
Guys.
And it's just
the list goes on.
We had a top handful, 5 back in the college every year.
So the fact that, listen, God bless him,
Ali Broussard,
Josh Williams is gone. Okay, that was a missing piece to the identity of LSU football. It is kind of a catch-22, or just the irony of it is that Josh Williams embodied everything else that was so great about LSU, and being a fan favorite and loving the university, the whole thing. But Caden Durham is a level above. And I think a year 2 of Caden Durham, a healthy Durham, a run game coordinator in Alex Adkins, I think we're going to see a more polished running game. And it starts with Durham.
I mean, it starts with the O-line. That's my concern. But yeah.
What are you laughing at?
I can't read.
I'm laughing at. You got to read it.
I'm laughing at Hugh said, hey, we can't see fuck, by the way. Not sure if that's on purpose. It's on purpose.
Yeah. When there's no video, this is just us talking. So do something around the house, throw this on, cook some dinner. There's nothing to see.
Like we could put a camera, and the camera would be just from a laptop showing the 3 of us sitting in a room.
We'll get there. Football, look.
You're throwing that out there because you're going to want them to be like, we'll do that. And you're like,
no, well, it's not. We're not going to do it.
It's just me.
No, we're not going to do it I get it. Like, it is more enjoyable to like
No, we'll get there.
Enough housekeeping. We got to talk ball.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're talking about
we'll
the
get
erosion.
There.
The erosion of Kalen DeBoer.
So let's talk
No,
about
I'm
that.
just kidding.
Not
We can go
specifically
there
Caden DeBoer, but let's talk about some of like right now we are in peak preseason hype mode without any context. Like no fall practice has started yet, or summer practice has started yet.
Just endless Crane and Company videos.
It's just Crane and Co. A lot of after further review of theories and speculation. But there's been a lot of polls that have been put out. All SEC or pre-all SEC teams, offense and defense. Shout out Lenora Sellers, the next Tim Tebow of South Carolina.
I don't know, man. I just don't know how we get there. Like, I understand that it's easy to say when it's your quarterback and be a homer. I like Sellers fine, but to be more
But when he takes the glasses off,
we
no,
can't.
sir.
You got to put the rec specs on.
Yep.
Like, that gives you, if you're an NCAA, that gives you that extra little boost, a few extra accuracy points. I just don't know how you could, and maybe it's just because I've rewatched the LSU games and people may remember them differently. Sure, made a mistake here and there. Like, media day too, that kind of annoyed me. It's like, well, if he can clean up these one or two things, it's like, dude, he had a fumble and he threw like a bad pick. Like, everyone does that shit. He backpacked the team, and I don't know, man.
We had no other game.
I'm so impressed with some of the throws. Like, going back and watching these games, dudes are just not open, and he throws it well before they make a break and get open, and it's just really impressive. And this is coming from the person who, when he sat out in the bowl game, I was like, I will hate Nussmeier till the end of time.
Well, they made a rule for him. So
but I don't know, just for all those guys to sit in a room and be like, let's put Sellers here, just kind of drives me fucking crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty dumb. It's pretty dumb. You could have sold me on Lagway ahead of Sellers.
Yes.
And ahead of Nuss, and I would have been like, I get it.
If you want to buy into the Lagway hype, I feel like I can at least meet you in the middle there. I can disagree with you, but I can see it. And
listen, I could be wrong on Sellers. I just don't think it's warranted to this point.
I agree. I like Sellers
if
fine.
Manning isn't like gonna get it based on hype alone,
right?
Sellers jumping this little fantasy situation of Manning, is pretty crazy.
To be fair, whenever I saw Nuss second team, I was like, they fucking did it. They
Yeah.
put Arch number one, and to their credit, they didn't do that and it would have been really easy, honestly, to throw Arch number 2 on a lot of people's ballots. Be like, I don't want to be the guy who put Arch at 6,
right?
And him be the guy that other people think he's going to be, but.
Texas, I mean, listen, and we were talking about this earlier, just kind of like a lot is riding, like Texas's entire season is pretty much riding on Arch Manning being the guy.
Yeah, 100%.
You know, like they have players all over the place, but if their quarterback is not the dude,
they need him not to be like ease into the season and be an okay quarterback
they
good.
open against Ohio State.
Yeah, like they need him, which is interesting. Yeah, and that's going to be a fun game to watch because it's going to be
two new quarterbacks getting broken in.
God, dude, that first Saturday is gonna be sick.
It's gonna be great.
Just start the day, big noon kickoff. Dave Portnoy,
that's crazy.
But just starting with that game. I think the Notre Dame Miami. Notre Dame Miami. I think it's the same time
Sunday.
as Oh, is it?
I
thought it was the same time.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I thought it was the next day.
I think we looked at this last pod, or we did this via text. But it's just gonna be a good. I feel like there's no week 0 this year. Maybe there's a few games. But
I think
I'm kind of glad
a lead up. You know, there's like a Wednesday.
No,
that's different.
Yeah, there is a week 0. It's
is anyone playing in Ireland?
It's these games. Vegas. Yeah, Ireland, Kansas, Iowa State, and Kansas State.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it, but
I have to watch it.
I mean.
It's 11 a.m. kick.
It's kind of the same way as I feel of like the NFL. I hate spreading so many games around because I feel like what makes the NFL great is watching Red Zone at noon when there's 8, 9, 10 games on and shit's just happening every second. And it's just like, I don't know. I just want it all to happen on Saturday. I want it to be the full.
There is a million games on Thursday before the real.
I am flying to Chicago for a Thursday night concert, flying back the next day because I want to be at my house for college football.
Yep. You want to wake up.
I don't want to do it in a hotel.
No, that's respectable. I respect that.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's, this is a very unpredictable year.
I think I
every
really
year
do.
It's seemed that way the past like 1 or 2 years. This is the most unpredictable I think it's been in a long time.
I don't think last year was an outlier. I don't think everyone losing 1, 2, 3 games. I don't think that was the outlier of like, well, there's going to be like 5 teams undefeated and 1 loss. I just think for the most part, I'm sure there's going to be teams like Clemson who don't have a ton of, big games on their schedule outside of obviously playing LSU. And some of that will maybe still happen. But it's like, Alabama's not going undefeated every year. Georgia's not going undefeated. Texas is going to lose to somebody. Like, I think last year was more of what we're going to get over these next stretch of however you want to consider the decade, like to finish out the decade. It's going to be a little more NFL like where it's like there's no super, maybe there's 1 or 2, but not these insane dominant teams. Like once the playoffs happen, it's like the team that's 10-6 might be able to make it happen.
I think we're still in the early stages of adapting to a post Saban era.
Yeah.
Where there's not going to be one coach that's just going to win every other national title.
A lot of coaches are getting mouthy now that Saban's gone.
A lot of
Lashley, I mean, like, come on, man.
But especially at
Signetti,
the SEC, though.
Signetti, like, what are we doing? You haven't earned this right to just come in and start talking. Like, you would never do that if Nicky Boy was still.
Well, the bigs are peacocking hard right now.
I don't like,
because of Oregon and because of Ohio State defending the crown. Obviously, the year before Michigan.
And it's crazy to me how quickly everyone's just like buried the SEC. It's like Big Ten is where it's at now. And it's like, guys, we have like 20 years of data here.
I am so happy that they're doing well because I know it's temporary.
I agree.
It's parity. It's nowhere near going to ever be what the SEC is or what they have been. So I'm not worried about them overtaking anything. I want them to win a couple, right? To make it interesting. I want to go into the season thinking, hey, there's a chance Penn State's going to like make a run in this and we get to get paired up on them and expose their ass. Like I want that type of hype around them.
No, I agree. I think it's good. I want all the good teams to be good. It's like I want the blue bloods of college football to be in the mix and have good programs. I don't necessarily want to see USC. It is fun to laugh at USC or Miami when they go 8-5. Like that is fun. But it's also probably more cool if we have a Miami, Texas, Ohio State, LSU, Bama, all the, Michigan, keep throwing Clemson, all these like name brands, and that's your playoff. Like that's probably pretty sick.
It's interesting. There's this is the first year we've gone into this, and it's like there's not a lot of quarterbacks that are really driving the Georgias, the Bamas, Ohio States.
Yeah.
Like the
on those teams.
There's more question marks from the top programs. Yeah.
The top programs quarterbacks they're not the ones that are in the media right now.
If you gave me $1,000 to name Oregon's quarterback right now, I couldn't. I've heard it. I saw it.
You think about how fortunate we are right now. If you did this little imaginary exercise in your head and you took who's being hyped up right now, Drew Aller, Lenore Sellers, Klubnik, Nuss, Arch.
Klubnik's probably the only one. I guess in Alar, those 2 teams are the only.
But if you put any of those guys on Georgia, or you made Nuss the starting quarterback at Bama, or Klubnik the starting quarterback at Ohio State, that team would be the absolute favorite, and no one would come close, right? That shows you, though, like how much has changed, and that these teams like LSU, like Clemson, like Penn State, potentially Texas, have a shot at actually winning the national championship. And I think LSU is squarely in that conversation.
I agree.
I think Pate was saying something from Media Day last week about how, the SEC's got a lot of teams. He's like, the Texas, Georgia, Bama, LSU should probably they'll be in the top 4 of the league. Like they probably should be in the top 4. They're projected
to be in the top 4,
But there's this group of South Carolina, Florida, Ole Miss, A&M, Texas, Oklahoma, Auburn that they all
Tennessee. Yeah, Texas is at the top.
Yeah,
You
no,
meant to say
Tennessee.
Yeah.
A&M and Tennessee.
Yeah.
And maybe in Oklahoma even. I mean,
depending on the hype of material.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, all of those teams think that like their expectations
should be in
their
the top
expectation for all of those programs is 10-2 or more. And
Do you
in
think
reality,
South Carolina thinks that way? Other than with Sellers.
Yes. This year they think that they're 10-2. I think they
do. Yeah, because they have a good
Why would they not? They
Right.
got robbed last year.
Yeah.
I mean,
No,
and then you have Auburn just like hanging out.
Auburn-
That's what I'm saying.
Auburn's
So you have like some of those fans and teams and coaches are going to be very disappointed. This is what Pate said. Like there's going to be some
Auburn's
interesting
offense
conversations in
loaded.
November.
Hugh Freeze went out and got
Are they?
that top wide receiver from I think Georgia Tech. He went to Auburn. You've got Cam Coleman, who was like a big time 5-star receiver last year. That's was a freshman for him. And then you pull in Jackson Arnold, who is a project,
was a big time 5-star, like can't miss prospect.
Oklahoma, I feel like ruined him. He looked like a dog. And we're not even. I mean, I know this isn't SEC related, but like another dog quarterback, in my opinion, and this is very controversial, is Dylan Raiola at Nebraska. I think a lot of people are not mentioning Nebraska right now because of Matt Rule's antics
and being Nebraska.
But like Raiola and Jackson Arnold are like the same type of quarterbacks that like 5-star, top in their class, hyped up, but they're in these weird transitional periods for their programs that they signed with. Where now Arnold transferred over to Auburn with Hugh Freeze. He's got this elite offensive talent around him. There's a possibility Auburn shakes some people's seasons up. That's a good. Can you go to Auburn's schedule?
Yeah.
I miss playing them.
I can see where you're going with Raiola.
Yeah.
I think they're going to beat a team they shouldn't, and then they're going to lose to some teams that they probably shouldn't. Like they're going to play Illinois, and they're like, "Well, you should win this game," and they're not.
Yeah.
Like I just don't see them as really.
That's a tough opener on Friday night.
Auburn
is it though?
Versus Baylor.
I'm just saying, like, if I was Auburn, I would want to play Ball State first and not Baylor first.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you on that.
No, it's not like us playing Clemson,
but you have a Hugh Freeze led team with those guys go into Baylor 7 p.m. Fox Friday. That's a lot of hype if they pull that one out.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they go to Ball State, South Alabama. Then they have their gauntlet.
Next thing you know, they're ranked 2019, going to Oklahoma and Texas A&M, Georgia, and that's a tough stretch.
That stretch there, I think Auburn's going to win one of those.
I agree.
One of those three.
They'll knock out A&M.
We kind of talked about it before, but it's like Oklahoma. It's like they're going to have to prove it to me before I kind of start putting W's in the columns of their just blindly saying they're going to win some of these games.
Unfortunately, watching the highlights before all this hype started, I did really like Mateer. But the fact that they're automatically making him like a New York
Heisman
finalist, it's like that's not what
look at their schedule.
I'm with you. Oklahoma has a brutal schedule. Texas got the easy of the two because now they're just. I think more of the games now are at home. But I'm pretty sure they play Alabama, LSU back to back.
Michigan.
They have Michigan.
Yeah, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Bama, and then
that's
Missouri,
a home game.
LSU
They have Michigan like straight up at home.
Oh wow,
that's
Auburn, Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Alabama, LSU. Who is this? Oklahoma.
Yeah. So it's like even if they're better, I just don't see them. They're losing 2 or at least 3 games in there.
3. Yeah. And that's not including Michigan.
I mean, they're probably, I don't know, Texas game, you never know. Arch could suck, but it's like they're losing probably 2 of Texas, South Carolina, Ole Miss, and then 2 of Tennessee, Alabama, LSU at least.
Nice.
Right?
We're going to get to watch Oklahoma play Underwood week 2 on ABC. Dude, I can't wait.
I feel bad how much I want him to just suck.
Is he the starter?
Has to be.
Easily. Yeah.
It's like I they're just kids, and honestly, like I think
kid.
I think it's for the best. I think what LSU did with all that money and going and doing it, I think it honestly benefited us a ton. Could this dude be awesome and win the Heisman? And we're like, yeah, it would have been cool, absolutely. But man, do I just hope he sucks and transfers and goes to Tech somewhere and just balls out. I don't know.
We're going to be fine at quarterback. We have the potential Heisman leader going into the season with Garrett Nussmeier. we just loaded our entire staff to focus on locking down that 2027 class, which in state has 3 of like the top 20 quarterbacks in the nation, which is insane. Not counting Nussmeier's little brother from Texas who wants to come here as well. So you have
lefty.
You have 4 top quarterbacks in the country for 2027, all battling for that spot at LSU, and we're obviously recruiting the heck out of all of them. But you're going to have a little gap, but then you're going to have your Underwood with either Elijah Haven or the Houston kid. Houston meaning the Evangel kid, last name Houston, Peyton Houston. And then you got Malachi Ziegler, in-state, or Nuss. One of those guys is going to be your next elite guy after Garrett. So the Underwood situation did play out well for us. We could hire staff. We could hire transfer portal kids,
Pay Austin Thomas and all his cronies.
Yeah, that little operation getting set up. But all these kids that we've brought in, a lot of people don't know about them. So all these preseason polls and all this hype, you see Whit Weeks on second-team defense, and that's it.
Yeah, I think Perkins was maybe 3rd, which is fair.
Yeah.
Injury, except.
But okay, that's 2 names. Like
they don't know what Perkins is going to do.
No, I think
they've never heard of Relaford. They don't know who Dominic McKinley is.
Right.
Patrick Payton, they're assuming could be his former self. They don't know yet.
Jack Pyburn.
Mansour Delane came from Virginia Tech. They don't know about him. DJ Pickett, who's to say he could be a bust. We don't know.
Yeah.
But what if he comes in and he's Patrick Peterson, right? And he starts as a freshman midway through and just starts dominating.
Yeah, Grant Delpit type, like it just comes in,
and plays.
I agree.
AJ Halsey, the transfer from Houston at safety. We're not going to see fucking Gilbert running around there.
No Sage Ryan lurking, no Major Burns.
But here's the thing: if Gilbert or Toviano or
Toviano is a forgotten man. The dude can play.
Spears or
Deshaun
Sears.
No, Spears.
It's definitely Spears, but it used to be McBride. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Deshaun Spears. Like if those guys do end up playing, it's because they beat out veterans from the transfer portal and they raised their bar.
Yeah.
And that's
there's not going to be like I agree. Like the people who you see on the field, I feel like are going to be a step above and like have actually earned it and not just like, we don't really have another option. Like our best tackler, Sage Ryan, which is like, how is that possible? We can, that's a different topic. But no, I agree. I would be surprised if we didn't have at least one secondary player in this post all SEC type.
Over under how many neck rolls we see on the defense this year?
None.
0.
None. Burns is done.
We had Major Burns out there.
Yeah, no, I think it's a perfect storm. Honestly, it's like I don't think our offensive line was super elite last year or anything, but if we had a Will Campbell or an Emory Jones coming back, then that could like kind of ease my mind on the O-line. Then I'd be beating the national championship drum. Yeah, Power Sharp. I mean, we don't know exactly how good that blocking is going to improve.
Even with all that, like our O-line, I don't feel like we didn't allow many sacks.
We've recruited
the amount of
so
dropbacks
well on the O-line.
But it's like
someone's got to hit.
I don't feel like our O-line dominated last year. So we can't be worse than we were last year, like to an extent.
Yeah.
In certain schematic wise, like
because
that was the problem.
I don't know that
I felt like the scheme was worse than the talent last year.
It was certainly a blend of a lot of issues that we weren't anticipating. I also think it goes from they were not prepared to go from the transition of Jaden Daniels, who could just make it happen out of thin air, to a quarterback that is not familiar with running the ball.
Who admitted that.
And so there's no threat for him to pull the ball. And then you had Josh Williams. And it's like all of those things mixed together, you didn't have a running game that worked, and it looked as if the O-line was just not prepared for that. You have a whole nother season to prepare. You have a better running back coming in. You have a running game coordinator that's focused on O-line. You brought in Moore from Virginia Tech. You brought in the Thompson kid from Northwestern. You brought in kids. It's gotta improve. If it doesn't improve, we're not gonna be in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You have to have a running game. I think the interior is gonna be fine. I think one of Moore or Chester is gonna win that center position. The other one is going to scoot out to guard, and then you're going to have Thompson from Northwestern at guard. You've got a solid base interior. It's the Weston Davis at right tackle and Tyree Adams at the other tackle that are the biggest question marks because you haven't seen them. But I've heard Kelly say over and over again, I'm the same coach that started 2 true freshmen at right at right tackle and left tackle. I know that we're going to have to replace them one day. These guys behind them have been being groomed for this moment. They are not going to not be prepared to do their job. So I think that has been a point of emphasis. So hopefully it does improve. Now, the other thing Brian Kelly was saying, this man was talking a lot about week 1. Week 1 was,
which kind of worries me even more. I almost
I figured that was the case.
Because if you lose, then it's like, well, fuck, you put all your eggs in this basket, and now you got to be like, hey, Florida's coming in 2 weeks.
But I also like, I like to be entertained by this hype.
I get it.
It's like, hey, listen, Kelly's focusing his ass off on week 1. What if this happens?
But like, why haven't we been doing that for 2 years? Why didn't we do that last year, Mike?
We should have been.
We trust the process and like, hey, it's okay if we lose.
No, I think the defense was just a step behind last year. Still,
I agree. I agree.
I think there's actual objective evidence of like, holy shit, if Harold Perkins makes that fucking tackle, if that ball doesn't drop the other way, like we beat USC in the opener, we squeak by, and the season's very different. I agree with you. There's no excuse. Like, there's no excuse. Brian Kelly has failed in openers, and it's all on him. He is going out of his way to make it known that this team is like focused on 1-0.
Yeah, I know. It just so happens to potentially be the best team we play all season. That's all.
But it's the best team we've played over the last 5 openers.
That's why you play the game. That's football.
Like,
right? And I think we should start. I'm starting to get excited at the fact that we are underdogs, clearly. And everyone is writing us off of having a shot at this game, but at the same time, penciling us in as a playoff team.
Right.
So that gives me hope that like anything could happen. But what if Clemson is overhyped?
Yeah.
What if Clemson is actually the team that's the fraud here and not us?
There's also some sneaky people in the media that
Sneaky Pete
that are putting us
great show
that are putting us in the playoffs or talking about national contenders and things. And it's like you look into some of those people and it's like they've studied our roster and they've studied what we've been doing in this program. And it's not just like, Colin Cowherd just blindly talking names or whatever. I'm just shooting out a big name. Like it's not the national media narratives that it's like, oh, well, they lost 2 first-round tackles or whatever. It's like there's guys out there doing research that have put us out there, but yeah, for the most part, the majority of the mainstream has no clue what we're doing.
I don't think we're going to be in really any game this year where we're out talented.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that's the case. Whereas like, we can talk about Daniels and a lot of the, neighbors and stuff, but we had a lot of holes on that team, mostly on defense in the secondary, on the line to some extent. And I think that Brian Kelly and staff have done a really good job of probably having the best, maybe not the most first rounders, but the best top to bottom or top 50 roster that we've had.
I think that's never been like, that's always been evident that we've been lacking on the defensive side of the ball and we've been heavier on the offensive side of the ball with talent. That's been the obvious, but that was an inherent issue that he inherited that.
I agree.
And it took him a lot longer than expected to rebuild it. And we're hoping this is the year that the defense is talented enough to equal what we have on offense. With all that being said, that's never really been our issue with Brian Kelly. It's been, why the hell does this team not know how to field a punt?
Yeah.
Why the hell does this team not know the snap count? Like, how are we having this many false starts? Like, that's the intangible.
Which is the thing I thought we wouldn't have to worry about.
Which is what we thought is like the baseline of what a Kelly team looks like.
Super disciplined.
We haven't looked like any of those Notre Dame teams where they're like disciplined, dominant O-line, tight ends out of the
special
ass.
teams.
Special teams are solid. Like, yes, our offense has been high scoring, since he's been here. But the discipline of the team has really been more off the field than it has been on the field.
Yeah.
And it's time to see it on the field. That's what we want. And we don't want it to happen like week 7. We want to see it happen on prime time week 1.
But at the same time, like in this day of college football, it's really just about like playing your best football at the end.
For sure. That's why I think, we had this conversation earlier about if we drop this Clemson game, it's not the end of the world.
No, it's not.
And we have to play. We have to keep it close. We can't get freaking blown out.
You would think that we would get the benefit of the doubt in that 9 to 15 range if we were sitting at, right at the same as some of these teams. They battled it out against Clemson. Indiana, it's like you didn't play anyone. LSU lost 3 games,
but they didn't play the Clemson. SEC championship.
Yeah.
Here's a real.
I don't want to be in the SEC championship.
Right? Give it to Georgia.
Here's a real scenario is like, what if we lose to Clemson and then like their season goes down the drain towards the end?
It doesn't help.
Like it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
I just think
I feel like
pull up their schedule.
Yeah. I mean, NC State and
I
Florida
guess that's
State.
the thing. They're like
defense,
Klubnik would have to go down for them to really struggle.
And listen, Klubnik is not he's not an established commodity in my opinion. Like
he got hot towards the end of the year.
He's streaky. He's really fine. Good, but he's streaky. There are games where I'm just like, God, this dude is off.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've never said that about Nuss, where I'm just like, that dude is completely awful.
It's almost like Ewers for Texas. It's like you would watch him be like, dude, this guy can fucking sling it. And then some games you're like, this dude has a noodle arm. I don't understand.
Yeah, against Bama, he looks elite, and then all of a sudden he plays Kansas, and you're like, yeah, this dude sucks.
But it's like, even if they're not that good, they're probably not losing to Syracuse, North Carolina, Boston College, SMU, I guess would be a question mark, Duke, Florida State, Louisville, Furman. Like, they play LSU and South Carolina and Florida State.
Yeah, in between they have some ACC teams that might give them a battle. They're not complete pushovers.
But they could lose one of those.
But they could drop one of those, sure.
But they would still be ranked 10.
Catching big Bill Belichick, in Chapel Hill.
Jordan, right? Isn't that his girlfriend's name?
Yeah. I'm very interested to see how
She's actually the new passing game coordinator.
Yeah.
He's been seeing a lot of stuff about it.
She works the jugs machines.
Yeah.
Florida State's going to be interesting.
Very interesting.
Norvell, he's had some good years. He had an excellent year a couple years back. Trash last season.
Yeah, well, I think they won 2 games last year. I think they went 2-10.
What do they do?
That's insane.
Mm-hmm.
Like to go from 12-0 to 2-10 is
that's
insane.
Another sign of the times. That's unique to this age where it's like if your class gets depleted and people transfer out, you're fucked for a year.
And they open with Bama.
Yeah. Wait, and they almost lost. They actually
so Bama's gonna look great.
Yeah, no, I fully anticipate Bama beating their ass and everyone being like, I knew it, DeBoer.
Ty Simpson's sick.
They wouldn't even take Saban back right now.
If they had Simpson, if they started Simpson last year, they would have been in the playoffs.
How about Greg McElroy just opening media days with like, I wouldn't say this if I didn't really trust the source. Nick wants back in,
and then he backtracked.
And then
so
like,
quick.
I don't think
it was a scenario that unfolded during a conversation of a what if, but I don't think it would ever happen. It's like that's not what you said.
Yeah, that and Feinbaum getting absolutely giddy that Art shook his hand were definitely the highlights of media day for me. You got this 60-year-old just leprechaun dude just being like, "Oh my god, Arch Manning touched me." That got me.
But that's good. where he's at.
No, I mean,
you know what
that's
I mean?
a good. Look, man.
That's the thing.
He knows how to get the people going.
He's still touched by future stars.
Good for him. I respect
SEC bloodlines. He loves that.
But yeah, I mean, I'm super interested to see how Bama plays out because I'm about as down on Bama as you could ever be, and down on Bama means they still win 8 or 9 games and they're in that.
What's their schedule?
Discussion.
Do we have a preseason top 25 out yet by anybody?
I feel like
Let's talk about some of those.
Has done that, but yeah, I would like to go down the leaderboard a little bit. A little Scotty Scheffler action.
You're gonna have a big gap between 1 and 2. Yeah, Scotty's a phenom. Just a reminder, I met his dad.
Just shook his hand, talked to him, chatted him up at the Dell.
Who are you rooting for? I'm probably pulling for Scotty. Yeah, he's a good kid. And just let it ride.
I did see his dad. His dad was in the sling. And I love how people were just like, yeah, he's been fist pumping too much the last few months.
Dude, he is I mean, obviously, it seems like a great dad, but he is just full blown, just like in awe of his son. Like the whole time I was talking to him, he's like, it's just incredible what he's doing right now. He's just a good kid.
I mean, honestly,
he's just a good kid.
Probably crazy to have your kid be like, I'm going to be a professional golfer and just play golf all day, every day. And then he turns out to just like not only be a tour player, but like the most dominant person we've seen outside of Eldrick.
And like his sister couldn't wait to just like bash him. She came up and she's like, he's such an idiot. It's like, okay, dude.
But it's like you had Rory and Brooks as this like post-Tiger generation, like, oh, these are the dudes. And Scotty has just completely come in and wiped that off the map. Back, no more golf talk. You don't have to change it.
No.
We were just waiting for Grant to try to find a top
I'm just
25.
happy that like when I first started getting into golf,
you were always a Scott guy.
I was a Scott guy because I watched one little clip of something about it was about Spieth. It was like a documentary on Spieth somewhere. And they were talking about him playing at like the Dallas Country Club or something, and that the younger kid, Scotty, was the one that was supposed to be like the next Spieth.
Yeah.
But everyone around, and like Spieth was like, no, that dude's better than me.
Yeah. And
I remember listening to that and being like, well, the dude's never won yet, whatever. And I think it was the Dell Match Play the year before his first win. His hat was all cockeyed. He looked just like kind of disheveled, but he was like punching out from way out of nowhere. His leg was flying everywhere.
And that's not sustainable.
Yeah. And it's like, this dude's wild, but like, that's the next dude, according to Spieth. And it turned out to be right.
No, I very much remember us sitting on a Zoom, may have been on the pod, going through Ryder Cup matchups. And I was like, dude, Rahm's going to beat Scheffler's ass. And Scheffler went out, I think it was the first match to like set the tone. And Scheffler went out and just bodied him. And we talked about it after, like, this is one of those things that like it could kickstart a huge run. I never thought it would be that, but
we could go off of the rails right now on this because I just want to bash John Rahm so bad. Just like how pissed he is every day walking back. I mean, like, I just want to play real golf, but I can't. Like, he's just so trapped at Live, and he can feel it.
Oh, yeah.
Where Bryson's just like, this is the place for me.
I'm trying a new ball out.
Yeah. and I can still, shoot 9 under.
That was pretty impressive to shoot 78, 60, whatever. That was nuts. Like, just shout out to that. College football preseason top 25.
Who put this out?
Oklahoma.
Sports Illustrated?
SI.
Yeah, they only have 25. No one has a full.
They just have Oklahoma.
They start like, so today's.
Oh, we got to wait 25.
There's got to be some like 1-3 graphic on Twitter.
I look.
Get out of
Everything's from like May. It's like post spring.
Okay, that's fine.
There's nothing new.
Yeah, that's fine. Give us one of those.
I don't even think they have that. They have
the only thing I found.
They did have that's future.
Oh, look, can we get national champion odds or something? That's essentially a top 10.
Yeah, let's do that. We don't need to like
this is something
25.
Yeah, I don't care where Syracuse is ranked.
This might be it.
But yeah,
here we go. Let's just jump to the top 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
All right.
9.
Miami. Wait. Yeah, 2025. Okay.
Yeah.
Slow down.
I know you wanted to go to 1 or 10.
Whatever.
10.
Miami. Who is this? Collegefootballnews.com as Miami at number 10. They finished last season 18th.
With the number 1 pick at quarterback.
Yep. Now they bring in old boy from Georgia, Carson Beck. That's all I know.
I want Miami to be back.
I would love it. I love Cristobal to have like a little flair out in the ACC.
Yeah, I'm not just like signing up to put all my chips on Carson Beck though. Like I'd rather miss the boat on that one.
Then we have LSU and Clemson at 9 and 8. Clemson finished the year at 14th, making the playoffs.
Yeah,
LSU
Texas,
just behind them finishes at 27 last year. So a lot of stock in the defense being better and Garrett Nussmeier being an absolute dude puts us in the preseason top 10 here. And I think you're going to see this across the board. you're going to see us in the top 10.
But also, it's like, and you have to go win the game. But they win that Texas A&M game. They're like leading for the SEC championship game. I feel like a lot of things are different. I think Florida was Florida after that. I think Florida was after that.
I don't remember.
I don't know. It's just 27 seems like it was. LSU probably should have been a little bit better than 27.
Yeah,
I feel like they were probably ranked somewhere.
Especially how we finished the year against Oklahoma, blowing their ass out,
and Baylor.
And Baylor. Yeah, Clemson obviously right there at number 8.
Let's look at the odds.
That's what we tried.
I know. This is probably
the Grant we need, though. This
more
is
reliable
exactly what I need out of you.
All right, so we got the Buckeyes and the Longhorns who are playing each other week 1 as 1 and 2. Personally, I agree that the preseason number 1 should be one of these two. I actually think it's Texas.
I was going to say, as much as I'm not like riding the Arch hype and all that, I do think Texas probably, if we just like look at rosters and like, we have to assume Arch is at least like decent.
Yeah,
I agree.
I think as a team, they're more well-rounded. Ohio State's sick. They've got Jeremiah Smith, who I think is the best player in the league. But I don't know anything about the St. Julian kid. Like he seems like a quarterback that Ohio State's going to end up like turning against or something. I don't know. It's just something about after they win a national championship.
Kyle McCord, like.
Yeah, maybe something similar to that. He's probably better, but I don't know if he's a guy that's going to walk in and just win a title year 1 at Ohio State.
Big year for Georgia.
Big year for Georgia. I would personally have Georgia. Obviously, I'd have Ohio State second going into it, but Texas number 1. The Penn State and Georgia thing, I think that is the next couple in line, but I would go Georgia here 100%. Just because their defense, I know they return a lot. I don't know much about Gunnar Stockton, but have they ever been a team that like the quarterback mattered?
Right, exactly. Like you need a guy who's not just going to completely like shit the bed for you. And I think that could be him. Georgia, most games they play are just going to be like heavily the favorite in a talent perspective.
Do they have 6 tight ends that are like massive people again?
Yeah.
I mean, I just think we know exactly who Penn State is.
Oh, Penn State, yeah. But
no, I was talking about Georgia's tight ends.
Yeah. I'm with you.
They got Branch from USC.
That's right. They did.
I
forgot about that.
So, they're going to have a stud receiver. They're going to obviously have backs.
Their defense, will
be good. So, like, Georgia's going to be up there. I could see them at 3. Penn State, I just don't like. Great running back coming back. Drew Allar is
fine.
He's not.
I feels like every Penn State quarterback they've had for our entire lives is like that's the same.
Yeah, he kind of reminds me of just like, I don't know, like a more mobile Mettenberger. Like he's solid. I don't know.
I think we know who Penn State is. They're going to beat all the teams they should.
Yeah.
Lose to all the teams that quote unquote they should, and they're not going to win the thing. They're a playoff team. And that's about as far as it goes.
I don't know. Like, see, this is where it gets like, I don't have Penn State right there after Georgia.
No, I think I would trust Clemson. Like if I'm betting trying to win some
Clemson
money on
versus
national,
Penn State.
I think I would rather bet Clemson than Penn State.
Yeah, I could see that. And I
think Oregon is like an interesting one in that next wave of Notre Dame, Alabama, Oregon at the 11-1.
I still like Notre Dame's defense. I like what Freeman does there. I don't know much about what's happening on that offense. I know they probably have a dude, but I think he's brand new.
Yeah, I don't know.
So I don't really have a lot of confidence in them.
Again, a playoff team that's not going to win the national championship.
Oregon, though, is one of those teams that they've got a transfer quarterback that's got some experience.
Who?
I think it was.
Where was he from?
I had his name before when we were talking about it earlier.
It was the UCLA kid.
Yeah.
Rashada.
Guy we played.
Look it up. He's a transfer that went to Oregon. We might have someone in the chat give it to us.
Dante Moore.
No. Dante Moore could be it. I get Moore and Rashada confused. I get those two mixed up.
Yeah, I think it has to be Dante Moore from UCLA.
From UCLA. Okay.
He was the quarterback that we played last year?
From UCLA? I think he like sat out or something.
He's a redshirt sophomore. I don't know. It just feels like Oregon's been getting some.
Or was he the guy? He may have been.
No, it says 2024. He had 7 of 8.
Okay. So yeah.
So you're telling me. So in 2023, I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general, the world is, again. This is to your point from earlier. Oregon's a team that they're throwing in a quarterback that he started what, a handful of games. Maybe he was the full-time starter at UCLA in 23. Played behind Dylan Gabriel last year, according to this, and only really threw 8 passes. And in there, like, plug him in the playoffs. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think there's a lot of stock in his high school recruiting numbers and the fact that when he was thrown in, he played pretty well at UCLA.
I just think Oregon's got a pretty nice roster, and it's like a year that people are like, oh well, if they would have done it, it would have been last year, and all of a sudden they could sneak up and snatch it.
They'll be as good as Dante Moore is. Period. If Dante Moore becomes if Dante Moore walks in and becomes a household name, Oregon is like a top 5 team.
I'm still not used to them.
They're not just good; they'll be in the elite bracket if their quarterback is really good because the defense is solid.
I'm still just like not in the mindset to have them playing a Big Ten schedule. It's still weird.
It is weird. It is strange. It's growing on me. Like, I think of them having to play Ohio State and Michigan, even though I don't know if they play both of them or not. But
I think I looked at their schedule and they play like one of the Penn State, Ohio State, but not both. I don't remember. He's just looking at game logs. It's not going to be here.
All right, go back to that list. LSU, I feel like is in that mix though, where I
agree. Like obviously
6 or 7.
Homer being a homer, but it's like LSU's really good value here at 18-1.
That's 9th
compared to all these other teams. And you can kind of tell that there is a pretty massive jump off because then you go to 30-1, 40-1s for Michigan, Florida, Ole Miss, A&M.
I'm just not confident in any of these teams.
I know. It's weird.
Like, Michigan's going to be breaking in a freshman quarterback. Florida is Florida. Like, who are we going to get? A&M is A&M. Miami?
Ole Miss.
Who's their quarterback? Is it a returner?
Miami?
Carson Beck.
Oh, Carson Beck. Yeah.
He was looking stuff up when we talked Miami.
So the roll of the dice is probably these next 4 teams: Oklahoma, South Carolina, Tennessee, and Auburn. Can one of those guys?
Yeah,
I think that's a group you circle, and someone's gonna hit.
But
one of them is Florida. One of those teams is making the playoffs somehow.
Shouldn't Florida be in that group too?
Possibly.
Yeah, I mean, if you put Florida in there, though, I would say I would bet Florida every time out of that group. Whereas, if you take them out.
So you think Florida's made the jump now because of the way they finished last year to where it's like they're more, we talked about the top 4 of the SEC. Yeah. You think Florida's like one of the next 5 or 6 teams?
I think so.
Yeah, I do. I'm honestly
they got a good finish to the year.
I mean,
I know.
I think where they're at.
I don't know if I'm a believer in Billy.
Is very fair. If you told me Florida was worse than Ole Miss but better than A&M, I'd be like, that's fair. If it was like Florida's better than both of them, I'd say, okay, fair. Like, I really think that's a strong group right there of like any of these teams could be the best of those 3, and any of them could be the worst when you look at like Florida, Ole Miss, A&M. We were talking before the pod. Ole Miss and A&M worry me more than any team in the SEC because it feels like for the first year ever, no one is hyping Lane up. Everyone's like, oh, A&M's fine, I guess. It's like, I don't know, man. Normally, I don't know. It just scares me.
But that's most seasons with you.
With
you
what?
Love Ole Miss.
No, I
always
I love Lane.
With
I hate Ole Miss.
No, I'm kidding.
But
no, you always side with A&M.
No, I
for a while now, everyone was like, oh, the Ole Miss Alabama game may decide who goes to the SEC. It's like, Ole Miss, they've put a lot into transfer portal this year, and there's just none of that right now.
Yeah,
and that's what kind of worries me that Lane's
Elko's like kind of quieted the troops. Like, hey guys, settle in.
This is an interesting season for Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Like they hyped it up. They paid a lot of money last year. I know they didn't pay the same amount in this year's roster. There's no way.
Right.
Can old boy from Arizona State do it again? Because
No.
he's got his quarterback coming back.
But he doesn't have Scatterbooney.
Scatterboo.
He doesn't have Scatterboo, but I guarantee you he picked up a running back.
Let's look at their schedule.
I'm interested to see what Tennessee does this year. Playoff team last year that felt like they probably weren't a playoff team.
They were in the playoffs.
Who's their quarterback now that Nico left?
I think it was just whoever was the backup there. I could not tell you, but that's kind of an interesting one. They kind of popped on the scene. It's like, can you sustain, or was that a little bit of hypo flash?
I like
Zalance Hurd.
Dude,
Yeah.
they can.
They got a good running game.
Arizona State could be right back in the playoffs. Look at their schedule.
Yep.
They do have to play at Mississippi State.
Yeah, the worst team in the SEC.
I don't know, dude. Those cowbells.
And they play at Colorado, second to last game with no Shador.
Texas Tech is a team.
I knew you saw that one too.
Spending dollars.
But here's the thing. Okay, Arizona State goes 11-1. You know,
Yeah.
Like,
No, with their
did they
yes.
steal a spot again? Like, I
Yes.
guess they have to.
Yeah, they were there last year. Good game too.
I'm not pulling against them. It's just crazy looking at this schedule compared to some of these other.
That coach has to do something crazy again.
Yeah,
We haven't seen enough of him.
that was fun. I want them to be good. It's good. It's good.
All of this indecisiveness about who these teams are just makes me so much more confident now.
Yes.
Which is a problem.
I agree. I feel
No,
like
because we know who we have an established quarterback.
yeah.
In a
That's the
season
biggest
that no one else does.
It
Whereas,
feels
like when we had Jaden Daniels coming back, there were a million established quarterbacks too. Like,
So
I know our defense
what
failed
happens
us,
if he
but
goes down?
well, I mean,
we've got
let's
your
talk
boy.
about it.
We got
Van Buren.
Mississippi State's.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
We have to
speed
have this
option,
discussion?
Jawan Johnson, just you throw
You
it
just
all.
gut it out with defense.
Yeah,
Like maybe that's what has to happen for us to like have a defense.
that would be that, dude. Don't even. That would be the worst.
Yeah, we
No, I mean, I think LSU is.
we would hang it up.
I think
Go
the Tiger
disappear.
Droppings. Where did they go?
I
They've
think
got
you-
families.
They've got families. The team sucks.
I mean, I think you have a group of like Penn State, Clemson, and LSU as like the most known. Like, I feel like we know the most about those teams compared to, it's like, could Ohio State's quarterback be awesome?
Yeah.
Yes. Could Arch Manning not be that good? Maybe.
But they're getting the benefit of the doubt
With
because
Sark
of the
and
talent gap.
talent.
Yeah.
I get it. But it's like, I don't know, man. I just know that we have the best quarterback in the SEC.
Yeah.
Like, there's just no doubt in my mind that
That's why I hope that every day Nuss is just building that rapport with the guys.
yeah.
Because his anticipatory process of how he operates, he's got to be in sync. Like him and Kyron Lacey, regardless of if Kyron Lacey was a great player or not, their connection and him being able to anticipate where he's going to go, how he's going to break, just being in sync was excellent. And then Aaron Anderson at the same time, third down, just high value, placement catching, just really good technique.
Reliable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Just
agree.
The security blanket.
And then just throw in a Barry and Brown, and hopefully you
That's
have Chris
him
Hilton.
him, Chris Anderson, and Hilton. If he can just get those three dialed
Nick
in.
Anderson. I just so that people don't
Not
crush
Chris
us.
Anderson.
Not Chris Anderson. Not the Birdman.
Chris Hilton, Nick Anderson.
Nick Anderson.
And Barry and Brown. If those three can get in sync with Nuss, this is going to be a
Watch
potent
out.
offense. Watch out. He already is in sync with Trudez Green. Just throw it up.
Yeah, just throw it anywhere.
But they've been
Him
talking
and Bauer
about
Sharp, I heard, have been putting in the work.
Donovan Green has been putting in the work. The transfer from Texas A&M.
Trade as his cousin.
They said that this dude was a pretty highly rated guy going into A&M, had a really productive first year, and then got hurt, and then came back and like wasn't really that same guy. People that knew him before at A&M are like, that he's back. Like he's back healthy. He looks like he was from before. This guy might see the field a lot.
We just don't have a lack of skill. It's kind of like we were talking about with the DBs. The guys who earn reps on the field are going to be pretty damn good. Like to be able to get reps over Barry and Brown or Trudez Green or Aaron, like you You have to be pretty good to take reps from those dudes.
First off, whatever combination of 3, 4, 5 wide receivers that are out there are all going to be legit.
Yeah.
So, like, they're not going to be able to scheme against just Kyron Lacy. Someone on the field is going to burn or make a play on somebody.
Yeah, you got to one-on-one.
I mean,
we got to man up on someone that's a mismatch for you, and it's a mismatch in our favor.
Dude, you know what I didn't think about?
And then boom, pop it out to Harlem.
So, like, we're not even
boom quarterback
I said this
draw.
Last time, Chris Hilton, right? I went back and looked, like, he turned it on at the end of the season, like, once he was finally healthy. And it's like, if he just picks up where he left off, like,
I agree. I think there's no question that Chris Hilton would be a weapon. The question is like,
are we going to see him?
Are we going to see him? Is he going to get tweaked up in practice week 2 and then we don't see him again? Like, you just, from an outside fan perspective, it's not something that you can just count on. You got to hope that like one of him or Barry and Brown or even like a Xavier Thomas guy is a guy who can play that role, and the best one in that role gets more reps.
Yeah, I think Chris Hilton's ceiling is
super hot.
Is like first round.
Yeah, I agree.
Like elite at next in line LSU type of receiver. But his floor is like
did not play.
We're not going to see him play again.
I agree. If he's healthy and on the field, he is at minimum someone who completely opens up an Aaron Anderson or a Nick Anderson or a tight end. Like, at minimum, he's someone that you have to like have a safety over the top and be like, hey, we're not getting beat. And I think Barry and Brown is kind of in that realm too.
Yeah, he's electric.
So you have like 2 of those guys.
You have 2, and then
you can just say fucking run.
And then Aaron Anderson is that guy, but he's a bull. Like, it's hard to get that dude down after he catches the ball. His yards after the catch, and contested. He gets
like
up the
physical,
field.
aggressive. Yeah. I don't know what the correct word is.
He's quick, very quick twitch, but powerful.
He doesn't. Yeah, he's like. Yeah, I know I'm small, but I'm going to be the toughest guy. Like, has that little bit of bulldog mentality, which obviously, like, I love having that. Maybe not Jarvis Landry like, but a little bit of that dog.
Yeah,
like
a little
Jarvis
bit.
was
Kind of New Orleans-ish.
Maybe more of a slot like type of guy.
Love it. Love those guys. And I think Aaron plays that role really well. He's got to stop with the dick dancing on Twitter or TikTok.
That fucker around.
Bad. We got to stop this. We have Nuss doing it. It's not good. Not good for the game.
I know I said it last pod, but there's like a YouTube video that's like Aaron Anderson season highlights. And it's like, you go back and watch it and you're just like, holy shit, like this dude did more than I remembered. Like, we kind of, you remember the play against Ole Miss. You remember the play against A&M where he's off to the races. But like, he was a reliable first down. Like, we need a first down. This is the guy we're going to.
Yeah. No, it's going to be fun to watch. I'm excited about it. It really comes down to this is another question. Are we going to see Nuss just like completely start taking over the offensive play calling? Like, is he gonna do the amount of audibles that Joe Burrow did his senior year? Because I remember Burrow his first year, it wasn't a lot of that. He'd make some checks, but then his senior year, it was like check city.
I mean, I think Nuss has the keys.
Jaden made some checks too.
Jaden evolved.
I feel like that.
But Nuss could get dangerous with that.
I agree.
Nuss is the type of guy that's just like, no, this is gonna work. Because I'm gonna fucking rip it in there.
And I kind of trust it. Like, I'm willing to go down with the ship of Nuss getting into the play he wanted and it not working out.
Just firing it through like 4 people down the middle of the field.
I do wonder if some of that changes with like the communication in the headset, though.
Yeah.
Like,
what are they gonna do? Like, no,
stop checking, you fucker.
Yeah. He's just waving them off. Like, shut up.
I hope so. Brian's just yelling with the play sheet in front of his mouth.
Yeah. And if Nuss blows an audible,
he's gonna get.
That's gonna be a rough scene.
And I love that Brian Kelly's just like, I know this is a coach's son, so I get to just lambaste this motherfucker. Yeah, like, I do love. And he's like, we have a great relationship after the game when he backpacks you to a win. But no, I mean, I do. I think you give Nuss the keys. I hope that he has that ability, because it's like the play calling was questionable at times last year. Yeah. So I don't know. I think you give him the keys and say, we're living and dying with you, brother. Bring us home.
I think.
What do you have on the screen?
This is Nuss's game log from last year. He's got to be able to move his feet this year.
Yeah, that's what's holding him back from preseason All SEC.
He just
he can be the Heisman favorite, but
take off and pick up a first down every once in a while.
Yeah,
like he moves really well in the pocket.
I don't like him talking about it so much.
I agree.
Where he's just like, yeah, I'm working really hard on it. I just need a few yards. It's like, damn,
But
he opened up,
but every time he takes off, I'm going to be saying slide.
Why are you running?
Yes.
The minute he gets popped, I could just see him explode.
Brian Kelly's going to explode.
Ball
into him.
going everywhere.
Why are you running?
Yeah, because
Well, Jaden had some ragdoll moments.
100%.
100 of them.
We just can't. You can't. I mean, Nuss can't be going back to the locker room because he got shook up trying to pick up 4 yards on 2nd and 18.
Yeah,
what I would like to see is Nuss, like you said, check at the line, and it's like one of those Peyton Manning naked bootlegs that he pulled out of his ass.
He just whips it out there. And
he just Bauer Sharps lead.
He just walks into the end zone because nobody's keying on him.
No, I mean, I do feel like because
he would call it.
We're just gonna
it's gonna be like 4th and inches against Bama, and he's gonna do it.
He's gonna take off in the worst time against Bama and get fucking blindsided.
It's like crying.
They're gonna throw the flag for targeting, but he's not gonna know what day it is.
Van Buren's gonna go in.
Van Buren
just shit his pants against Bama, so I wasn't ready.
Wait another.
Van Buren's gonna come against La Tech week 2 and light it up.
Is Hurley gonna play, or is he like rehabbing?
I think they're planning on him being I think they said something about him being full go for fall camp or something.
Let it rip.
He's the guy.
Well, let's see what he's about. I don't know. Maybe he's the guy that bridges the gap to Haven. We'll see.
National championship or bust. Fire his ass.
Hot seat.
I mean, if we're not a playoff team, again, getting in the playoffs, like anything can happen, but it's like you got to get there. If we don't get to the dance this year, I'll be pretty out on the process.
Yeah, I'll be out.
Back.
Yeah, I'll be out. We'll be clamoring for okay, what's the coaches? Who can we hope we can get? I'll start.
He took Arizona State to the playoffs twice.
Yeah, we'll start doing that.
I'll start that one.
What's Mark Stoops up to?
I'll put that bug out there.
Yeah, we'll plant that seed.
Venables can bring him in as DC.
How many losses before that seed is planted? Is it
just
looking at the schedule?
I don't care how many wins, how many losses. I don't care if we're the 10th team or the 12th team or we're the 3rd team. You have to make it to the
I'm opening Christmas gifts and being like, we have a game next week.
No, when will you be planting the seed of who the next coach is? At what point in the season?
If we don't make the playoffs.
Oh, I know, but at some
time,
point,
if we're 3 losses, 6, 7 games in, then obviously it'll be like Mark Stoops actually would be great for the program.
If it's evident we're not going to make the playoffs, that's when I'm going to be like, okay, next year's
rumors
season.
What do we think about Tyrann Mathieu as a coach with Venables as DC?
Get rid of Sloan, and our problems will be fixed.
Yeah. No, I mean, I don't know. I just think we're going to be really good. I think even if the play calling isn't elite, I think Nuss is good enough to win most of these games.
Yeah, and maybe these sick, talented athletes that we've been recruiting actually, I don't know, maybe we get another Jaden Daniels out of nowhere. Maybe we get a next stud. Maybe Chris Hilton becomes a fucking phenom. Maybe Harlan Berry is a dude.
Yeah.
What if we just luck out and get the next guy? Because that's a possibility with how we've been recruiting.
You're talking about for the future?
For this season, to just blow up on the scene.
Someone blows up.
And it's like, we've seen that before where guys have been like, I didn't see where Debo Jones was going to just become like a
I think it's like someone like
Perry Riley.
It's like it's someone like Gabriel Relaford. It's like a defensive player.
Duke Riley.
I'm really, dude, all this offensive talk, I'm not worried about the offense.
I'm not worried about it either, but I'm saying we could be even better if one of those dudes becomes like
if the guy we don't think is a first rounder is a first rounder.
If a running back runs for 1,000 yards this year,
right? If we get
that's insane.
If we get like a Darius Geis out of Caden Durham.
Yeah, if Durham is the South Carolina game every week, then it's like, holy shit.
Yeah, that's a different team. we don't care about the defense at that point.
The schedule is just set up really well. Like outside of Ole Miss, South Carolina, there's not this like gauntlet 2-game stretch because even between A&M and Bama, you have a bye.
I'm just happy to be back for it. I'm happy to be back in town for it. It's gonna be great.
This is all we needed.
I think that is something. Like that's a shift in the energy,
a vibe.
Yeah, like that has to do something.
It hasn't worked the last 3 years, so
now we're like that's what this would be. So
it worked in baseball.
How long have we been going?
Probably an hour 15. I think we're good.
Yeah, let's wrap it.
Bama's gonna suck. A&M's
Bama is
a
conversation that people need to have because right now DeBoer is sounding as if he's the next Kirby Smart. You know, he's Kiffin. He's an offensive genius.
Believe it when I see it.
But we didn't really do much with Milroe other than running him.
Yeah, you had an awesome wide receiver who looked good in like 2 games.
You didn't go out and grind for like some top portal quarterback. You're riding with Ty Simpson, but he wasn't good enough to beat Milroe. You know, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. Is the culture back on track? Because at the end of the season, it was this dude's a joke. This is not going to work. Hopefully, like we can rip this Band-Aid soon. That's how fans were treating DeBoer at the end of the year. So I know we've washed that, and we're starting the new year, and Bama, has their brand.
They're just so talented, Mike.
But I think 2 losses this year, you're going to see people like clamoring,
totally turning on them.
100%. Hey, fire the guy. This is it. Fire the guy. Like year 2 type of shit. And it might be uncalled for. Like it might be unnecessary. It might be like, hey, they're going to win 8 to 9 games,
If they miss the playoffs, like people are going to be pretty done with them.
Yeah. So I think I would put lost my chips in the camp that it's going to go south compared to they're going to rebound this year and be a playoff team.
Right.
I think it's going to go south.
I think going south for them is being 18-20 missing the playoffs.
Right. I don't think they're going to
I'm in that boat.
God damn.
I think they're going to be in the conversation, but they're not going to be.
But at the same time, it's like, who are they losing to? Tennessee, South Carolina, OU, Auburn.
Right.
I guess they do play Georgia.
Which won't matter. That game's a wash for both teams.
Yep. Agreed.
But look at this. They have no back-to-back away games.
Yeah, it is a pretty good schedule for the home.
But if they don't look like dominant against Florida State, like that's all I'm going to need to see.
They're losing to Auburn.
They should. Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be fun.
Tickets are only $308.
Jesus. Tickets for the Georgia gamers are only $630.
All right, guys. Till next time. Over and out.
Cemetery, he'll be hailing from inside.